Hello and welcome Hands on IT. This is video number 14. Today, it's a short video. Today I will build the second Hyper-V host, and I'm going to try to connect to it from my first Hyper-V host, and let's see how that's going to work. Of course, I'm going to make a couple mistakes. I will try to connect from the work group. We'll see what goes wrong, and I'll try to fix it. First thing we're going to do, we're going to rename my second laptop. I will call it Hyper Hyper-V2. So right now I have one domain controller, one host, which is my nesiam-com, which is my first Hyper-V host. Now I have a second laptop, and I just renamed it to Hyper-V2. Okay, now before I reboot, I have to install the feature, which is Hyper-V. Both machines are not joined to the domain, so they at the workgroup level. You can manage them individually. You don't have to make any changes. You just install the feature and start installing virtual machines. But the moment you would like to connect, you would like to control second machine from the first machine or vice versa, well, you have to do something. And that's what I'm going to explore. This is a short video, only 15 minutes. Just pay attention. Okay, now the feature is installed. The computer is renamed. Let's see if I can join it to the domain. Set the DNS. 2 to my 1.199 domain controller. I'm joining as my admin account. Okay, next step is to enable remote management on my Hyper-V 2 host. Let's check current settings. I'm logged in as a domain admin account on Hyper-V 2. I am part of the domain now. I'm joined to the domain. And I have to run something called winrm quickconfig. winrm quickconfig will enable firewall exception. It will enable Hyper-V remote management and Windows remote management service. It's just a nice quick shortcut. You run it. I've run it before, so that's why I'm not. It won't ask me if I want to enable. It's just going to report that I already have it set up. Okay, now I'm checking my services just to confirm whatever winrm quickconfig was supposed to do is done. It is done. Good. Now let's switch to Hyper-V 1, which is my nesiam.com. Of course, let's find out where we are. Yep, that's my account. And the name of the machine is nesiam.com. Am I part of the domain? It says DMCPL will take me to, yes. Okay, I'm part of work group. Let's see if I can connect to my Hyper-V 2, which is already on the domain. And let's see if I can connect and control Hyper-V 2 from my Hyper-V 1 or nesiam.com computer. So right click, connect. And the name of my computer is HyperV2. I will try to connect. Nope. There's an error message complaining about security permission, and the services essentially is not able to connect. There's some kind of a security mismatch in communication. It won't work. Okay. Let's see if I'm able to connect from the same workgroup computer using another account. Let's say, for example, domain admin account. Maybe this is the solution. Specifically list this account to make the connection. That's my domain admin account. Let's see, delegation works, but that's very unusual. What I'm saying is you're not supposed to see it if everything is set up correctly. Let's see, maybe it will work. Nope. Delegation could not be enabled. So let's try to join my first host to the computer, to the domain. So the second was already part of the domain. I'm joining my first host to my nesiam.com domain. It's a little confusing because my computer name is nesiam- or -com, but the domain name is nesiam.com. It's okay, just as long as you know the difference. So I'm joining my nesiam-com to nesiam.com. This is a very interesting situation. I'm actually going to mention something called hosts. This is a single flat file that's part of every Windows from going back many years that actually overwrites DNS settings and provides local resolution. I'm going to get to it in a second. But the right thing to do is to fix whatever the problem is with DNS. DNS is supposed to be a primary tool, the only tool um, to connect to the domain. If the DNS is not set up correctly, there's a problem. Okay, so the name, if I try to ping my nesiam.com domain, it's not returning my local IP, it's returning public IP. It's because the DNS services are provided by my ISP at this point. That makes sense because my Hyper-V one is connected to my home network Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi and DHCP is handled by my ISP. I need to change that. So let's see if I'm going to show you if you get stuck or if you need to do something in your lab and you want to quickly, without messing with DNS, you want to quickly point your machine to a specific address and do translation done locally rather than by DNS, you can use host. Host is a file that has no extension, sits inside Windows, System32, and etc. You can't save. You have to take the file, copy the file outside of that folder, make necessary changes, and then overwrite, or better yet, rename the hosts that sits inside the original folder, and then copy the one with the changes you just made. So I'm adding the IP and the name. So that's pretty much all you need for resolution. So it's going to resolve my name to IP or the IP to my name. So if I ping nesiam.com, it's supposed to return the IP. That's the whole point of having this host. Remember, host file, it's plural. Host file does not have any extension. There's no txt or bat file. Okay, and let's test it. There's nothing to do once you copy it over to the System32 folder. You don't have to do anything else. There's no need to restart anything. There's no need to reset anything. It's supposed to work right away. This is just like a bonus thing that I'm discussing. You don't need to do that. You shouldn't have to do it. But that's one of the options Windows has. Okay, so I'm copying the file I just changed. I already renamed the original one. And let's see if I'm able to ping it. So before it was returning public IP, now it's returning 1.199. So translation is done. But please don't use it in your production. It's not safe. Okay, but let's just do it the right way. So let's fix DNS because your Hyper-V, your first Hyper-V host is in a bridged mode, which means you have a switch set up and it's bridging to your Wi-Fi. You're going to have to modify the bridge adapter. So go into control panel. We've done this a couple of times. It's just a reminder how to do it. Okay. Adapter settings, and you just have to pick the bridge. The bridge has the actual IP that you want to modify. So IPv4, set up your DNS. Of course, the domain controller has to be online in order for DNS to work, or you can list another DNS, secondary DNS if the primary is not reachable, but that should do the trick. Okay, looks like it's working. Let's see if I'm able to connect to the domain. I'm getting the pop-up. Using my domain account. It joined. Okay, so my first host is joined to the domain now. So now both hosts are joined to my domain. Let's see if I can connect from my primary host to my secondary Hyper-V host. It's supposed to work, right? Right. This is who I am. I'm logged in as domain admin on my first host. I'm pinging my domain, which is my only domain controller I have active at the moment. Let me ping my domain controller by name, which means DNS works fine and returns the correct IP address. Okay. Let's see which server I'm using to log in. Yep, that's my domain controller. Everything seems to be fine. And let me ping the second or secondary Hyper-V host. Works. It's online. It's responding. And let's look at the firewall. Now let's see if I can connect. So it's supposed to work, right? Well, let's see. Yes, my domain is listed. Let's find my second Hyper-V host, which is Hyper-V2. And it's not working. So both machines are on the domain, still not working. It's because you have to run the configuration on both machines. So run winrm quickconfig. You run it on both sides. So this will update firewall settings. It will start both services on both machines. And let's see if this will do the trick. So of course you can winrm quickconfig. And the first time you run it, you'll have a question. Would you like to do it? Yes, because I ran it before on this machine already. So I just said no, but you will answer yes. And it will run the script, and then you can check if go to services and check if Hyper-V management service and Windows remote management is enabled. And then we're going to try to connect. Yep, it worked. This is a very handy tool. You can, from one machine, you can control multiple Hyper-Vs. I happen to have only two, but you can have 200. It's going to be much easier than logging in 200 times to 200 different machines. You can actually do everything from a remote machine or on a remote end. You can create virtual machines. You can stop them, start, modify, change, copy, anything. Okay, let's just try one more time. I'm going to make sure firewall is enabled, remove my Hyper-V, and let's see if the firewall state changes will affect the ability to add um, a remote host. So let's do it again. Now the firewall is running. So if winrm quick config didn't work, you won't be able to add it. Beautiful. So we're back in business. That's it. Just so basically, you need to join it to the domain. Both machines need to be joined to the same domain, and you have to run rm quick config on both machines. Make the connection, and you can start working. That's about it. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Have a good day.